Yo guys, Jack here, and today I'm delighted to be walking you guys through the brand new Archetype Petrucci. I mean, John Petrucci, what an absolute legend. He was a massive inspiration for me as a kid and a teenager with Dream Theater, his solo stuff, Liquid Tension Experiment. I mean, what a player. So a massive congrats both to John and to Neural DSP for putting together this fantastic plugin. Now, this could potentially be the most complete plugin, if you like. There are so many things inside here that, you know, you could have a field day if you wanted to. You can really go in depth in terms of tone shaping, but there are also loads of effects to check out both before and in the effects loop of the amp, if you like. So let's just walk through the interface. Now, the first thing is you'll notice that it looks like many of the other Neural DSP plugins. We have over here a compressor, and then we've got I think that's a volume or a wah, I can't remember, forgive me if I'm wrong there. On the next tab, you have pedals in front, so overdrive, phaser, chorus, and flanger. This interface looks incredible, by the way, and we're going to see as we move on to the amp section here, when we move through these 4 amps, they just look so aesthetically pleasing on the eye. This amp is the default amp. This is more of a lead sound in this glorious white. We move on to this one. I guess this is more of a rhythm sound, but I absolutely love this amp for more low gain type sounds. Over here, this is the clean amp, and again, that purple is gorgeous. Massive congrats to the design team over at Neural DSP. They always nail these. And then finally, we have, this is a clean amp, or it works really well with piezo. So you're going to get lush 80s style cleans, 90s style cleans from this thing, all the way to super high gain in terms of John's territory. But like I say, the interface itself just looks gorgeous. I love this kind of daylight to nighttime as we move through with very Dream Theater-esque or John Petrucci-esque designs in there. Absolutely nailed it. If we move on, you have the speaker cabinet section. Now, what is new in this plugin is that we have a room mic option down here, and you can blend that into your tone. So that can actually be really useful for getting more of a kind of, you know, in the room sound, if you like. Next, moving on. Now, this is the EQ section, and it looks slightly different in terms of the interface here, but it works very much in the same way as the others. These are more like rack-mounted, I always think of when I see this kind of thing. Also, on all of the other Neural DSP products, you have a similar kind of EQ, post-EQ section, but this one just looks slightly different, does the same job. And here, this is either the wah or the volume pedal. I can't remember, forgive me. But finally, moving on to this last section then, we have chorus, delay, and reverb. Now, the reverb has a shimmer built into it, which is absolutely gorgeous for those kind of ambient sound delays. The chorus itself, you've got 2 options there, vintage and spatial, but remember, you also have a chorus in front if you want as well. Which has got the whole tri-diode thing built in if you're into that sound. But yeah, I should point out there are a couple of new things as I drop that pick. We have a transpose button on this one, or control. So if you wanted to, you can completely change the pitch without having to change tuning. Something that's been implemented really well in a couple of the other plugins, and of course in the Quad Cortex, which I am using as my interface today. I'm so glad to see they've brought it into a plugin. And also we have the doubler option down here. So this is essentially like a stereo spread. So if you want to, you know, like hear a kind of double tracked sound, or if you want like a lead sound that's quite wide, this is perfect for that. I don't know if I'd necessarily use it for recording, but for practice, this is absolutely perfect. And I assume you could definitely use this live if you're into that kind of thing yourself. But today we're really going to run through some of my presets, which I put together for this. So we'll check these out in a second. But first, let's just hear what the default sound is. It's absolutely glorious for all those kind of shreds. So... so much gain, lovely delay. I think there's a bit of reverb on there, but yeah, you know what you get in the second you turn this on. Filthy. Anyway, let's start then with some of my presets which I put in here. So the first one, I've called this 80s pop clean. We're using the piezo, or clean acoustic style amp, I should say, with a compressor on in front, and then behind, I think, yeah, we've got delay on here. It just sounds very reminiscent of some of that kind of pop stuff that you'd hear in the 80s, but also on the Strat Guitar records, you'd get a little bit of this kind of chorusy, cheesy, but lovely clean. Lovely. Let's move on then. What was the next preset in here? Okay, so this is another shreddy one with the high gain amp. We've got delay and reverb on there, and we also have an overdrive in front. It's not necessarily adding more gain, but I have used it to shape the tone a little bit. No compressor. Let's check out this. So a lot of gain really there, but it still works really, really nicely. It feels like butter to play that. Next one I've got here is called Ambient Textures, and it does what it says on the tin. I'm using actually like the rhythm amp as it's described, but I've not got much gain on there. You can see down here, it's really low down, none of the pedals in front, but there is a compressor. And then in terms of effects afterwards, I have the delay and reverb on there. And this will just give you like some nice textures within your composition really. That reverb is absolutely lush. No shimmer on that, but it just spreads so nicely there. Let's move on to the next one then. So this one I've called Bluesian Low Gain. So this is kind of my attempt at sounding like some of the modern blues players. It's probably nothing like that to their ears, but I am using the transpose button to go down a half step to E flat. Might be a bit of a pain for me to play it because I'm at such a low volume with my speakers right now, so I might get a clash of loads of semitones here, but the idea is to give us this kind of typical E flat Strat sound, which I love, and I don't usually like to play with the tuning in terms of, you know, messing with the setup and that. So let's give this a try. cool. So not just for high gain stuff. Moving on then, we have this next preset, which I've called LoFi Clean. And again, it's for this kind of modern, you hear it in pop a lot, this kind of sound now, where we have like a chorus and you have a compressor on there and loads of reverb, in fact. Yeah. This is with the clean amp. Let's check out how this sounds. Really, really cool sound. Again, kind of shows off the versatility of this thing. It's not just for shredding, shall we say. Now moving on, this next one, I called this Marco style lead when I was making it, based off of Marco's Foley. Now I don't know if it's anything close to his sound, but the melody, what is that tune called that came to my head? Still Hurts, which is an absolute tune. It's probably nothing like that on the original thing, but it was just the first thing that I played with this sound. So let's check this out, another lead sound, this time using the rhythm amp with, did I put anything in front of it? No. Actually, it's just the rhythm amp with a little bit of reverb and delay. Let's check this out. Really beautiful, and it responds to those dynamics quite nicely as well if I roll down the volume. Cool. Moving on then to the final preset then. This one I've called Sky Blue Pink, and it's based off the track I did with Owain. Let's check out how it sounds. This is the clean amp with the overdrive in front of it. And then we have reverb and delay. From memory, it's slightly darker than the original tone, but this is the closest I could get to that. really, really fun to play with as well. So that sums up all of my presets. I hope you enjoyed some of the play in there and some of the sounds. What do you guys think of this plugin? Do you have something that really stands out for you with this? Is it the doubler? Is it the transpose? Have you guys been using it already? I mean, I've certainly enjoyed my time with it and putting together that track. That was a load of fun. I would say it is definitely the most complete out of them in terms of the options that we've got for tone building here. And it's really, really fun to play with. It does what John would like. I can totally imagine him blasting through all of these amps. So guys, enough from me anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And I shall see you guys in the next one. Cheers.